Hey, today we're looking at some idioms that you can use in natural, everyday English conversations. And these idioms are not topic specific, which means you can use them in conversations about pretty much any topic. They're very versatile, they're very natural, they're very conversational. I personally use them myself. And idioms are always a great way of boosting your vocabulary and sounding a little bit more natural. So let's get started. Just before we dive into today's lesson, I want to remind you to grab your free ebook, English Conversations Made Simple. Now, I've written this ebook to help you boost your conversation skills and, of course, become more confident when you are having conversations in English. So make sure you grab your copy by clicking the link just below this video. Okay, so our first idiom is hold that thought. Hold that thought. Now, hold that thought just means don't forget what you are about to say or don't forget what you are thinking. I'll be right back, okay? And this one is really useful when you are in the middle of a conversation with someone and maybe you have to leave for a second to go to the bathroom, or maybe you have to answer a call and you don't want the other person to forget what they want to tell you, okay? But if you say, please don't forget, I will be right back, that's such a long and unnecessary sentence. So instead, you can just say, hold that thought, okay? So for example, imagine you and I are having a chat, we're having a conversation, and my phone rings and it's a work call, it's an important work call, and I have to answer it. I can say, I'm so sorry, this is an important call, I have to take it, hold that thought, okay? I'm so sorry, I have to take this call, hold that thought, all right? You can also use this if you have to run to the bathroom. You can say, sorry, I have to run to the bathroom, but hold that thought, okay? I have to run to the bathroom, but hold that thought. So as you can see, hold that thought is super versatile. You can literally throw it into any conversation when you have to answer your phone, go to the bathroom, step outside for a minute for whatever reason, okay? So hold that thought, it just means don't forget what you wanted to say. I want to hear it and I'll hear it as soon as I get back. Our second idiom is hang in there. Hang in there. Now, hang in there just means don't give up or don't lose hope. This is quite a nice idiom. You can actually use it on its own. You don't have to add anything to it or change anything. You can literally just say hang in there to someone who is having a difficult time or facing challenges or is feeling discouraged. So we use this idiom, hang in there, to express empathy and to give some encouragement. So for example, imagine that a friend of yours has started a new job and the new job is really hard, all right? And they're telling you, oh, I'm having such a hard time, the work is challenging, I'm not getting along with my colleagues, whatever the case is, you could say to them, I know it's been tough, but hang in there, give it some time and things will get better, okay? Another example, imagine a friend of yours has just gone through a breakup. You can say, I know it's hard now, but hang in there, you will get through this, okay? Hang in there, you will get through this. So as I said, you don't actually have to add anything to this idiom. You can just say, hang in there. But in these examples, I've added a little more encouragement and it's kind of always nice to do that, all right? So hang in there just means don't give up, don't lose hope, things will get better in time. All right, our next idiom is to put someone on the spot. To put someone on the spot means to put pressure on them or force them to answer a question that they're not ready to answer or that is uncomfortable for them, all right? So imagine you and I are out in a group of people and one of the people in the group is named Bob. And Bob is having a party this weekend and you know that I don't want to go to Bob's party. But you ask me in front of Bob, you say, Julie, you're coming to Bob's party, right? And you put me on the spot. You force me to answer a question that I don't want to answer, okay? So after we leave the group, I can say to you, you know, you really put me on the spot. Why did you ask me about Bob's party when you knew that I didn't want to go? Or I can say, don't put me on the spot like that again. Okay, so as you can see, putting someone on the spot is quite a negative thing, but of course it does happen. And you can use this idiom again in any situation. So if you want to tell someone to stop putting you on the spot, you can say, please don't put me on the spot like this, or I feel like you're putting me on the spot, or stop putting me on the spot. And you can use this in social situations, in professional situations. Again, it just means to force someone or pressure someone to answer a question that they are not ready to answer. Idiom number 4 is to wrap your head around something or to get your head around something. Now, these two variations have exactly the same meaning. You can use either one, whichever one you like, wrap my head around something or get my head around something. And both of them mean to comprehend or to understand a concept or to understand something, all right? So, for example, it took me a while to wrap my head around this new software, but eventually I got the hang of it. Got the hang of it means I just learned how to use it. I learned how it works. It made sense to me, all right? So it took me a while to wrap my head around it, but after a while, I got it, okay? Another example, I can't wrap my head around how people can spend so much money on a handbag, okay? How people can buy super, super, super expensive purses and handbags. The concept is strange to me. I cannot grasp or comprehend or understand this concept, all right? And again, you can use this in any situation, in any conversation, whenever there is a concept or an idea that is strange to you, you can say, I can't wrap my head around that, or I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this, okay? Now, I just want to clarify that this is not used when you don't understand the meaning of a word. If you don't know the definition of a word or the meaning of a word or a phrase, we don't use I can't wrap my head around this word in this context or in this situation. It's more when you don't understand a concept or an idea. You can't wrap your head around something. Our next idiom is to get something off your chest. To get something off your chest. Now, to get something off your chest means to talk about something or express something that has been worrying you, bothering you, or making you feel guilty, all right? So to talk about something or express something that has been worrying you, bothering you, or making you feel guilty. So you can use this one in quite a few different situations, all right? So for example, imagine that I'm feeling guilty. Let's say I lied to you about something. It's really bothering me and I want to tell you the truth. Here's how I can use this idiom. The last time we spoke, I was not completely honest with you, all right? I really need to get something off my chest. The last time we spoke, I wasn't completely honest with you, all right? So you can kind of imagine that this thing that is worrying you is like a heavy weight on your chest and you can't breathe because it's stressing you out so much, all right? That's how you can kind of think about this idiom, that this problem or this concern or this guilt is a heavy weight on your chest and you need to get it off your chest and remove it, all right? So I'll give you another example. Imagine that you have been really, really stressed about your relationship and you want to talk to a good friend of yours, okay? This is the weight on your chest, your relationship. And you call up your friend and you say, are you free for a coffee? I'm super stressed and I really need to get some things off my chest, okay? So again, you can use this idiom if you are worried, if you feel guilty, if something is really, really bothering you and you need to get it off your chest. Idiom number 6 is to be on the same page as someone else, to be on the same page. Now, if you're on the same page, it means you are in agreement or you share the same point of view, you share the same opinion or the same perspective, as the other person. All right. So if you're not on the same page, it means, of course, that you are not in agreement. You don't have the same opinion. You don't have the same point of view. So, for example, imagine that you and I are talking about the COVID vaccine, a very popular topic at this moment. Let's say that I think it's okay because I have gotten the vaccine, I've been vaccinated, and you are against the vaccine, you disagree with it, you think it's not okay and you don't want to get it. I could say, I don't think we're on the same page here. I don't think that we are in agreement or we share the same opinion, all right? Another example, let's imagine that you and I are talking about politics, all right? And we don't share the same views, we don't support the same political groups or political parties. You can say, I don't think we're on the same page here, all right? Another example, imagine you are talking to your colleagues about a project and there's maybe 5 of you and you have to kind of discuss what you're going to do, how you're going to approach this project, and eventually everyone is in agreement with the plan that you make, all right? You can end your meeting by saying, okay, great, it looks like we're on the same page. We can move forward here, okay? It looks like we're on the same page. So you can either say we are on the same page or we are not on the same page. And again, you can use this idiom at work with colleagues. You can use it in conversations with friends. You can use it when you talk to your family. You can literally use it when you talk to anyone about anything. It is very natural and very, very, very versatile. So this is a good one to know. And idiom number 7 is at the end of the day. At the end of the day. So at the end of the day just means ultimately or after everything has been considered. Okay, so ultimately or after everything has been considered. This is a really good one. Usually we use it at the end of our conversations when we are kind of summarizing our last point or our main point. It's just, again, it means ultimately. So imagine that you have asked me for some advice. Imagine that your kids are having a very difficult time at their school and you're having a lot of problems with the school. You don't like the school, they don't like the school, and you ask me for some advice. You said, Julie, what do you think? Should I wait until the end of the school year? Should I take my kids out of this school and put them in a new school? What do you think, right? And we discuss this because it's not an easy decision. We discuss it for quite a while, and at the end of the conversation I say, you know, at the end of the day you have to do what you think is best for your kids. Okay, at the end of the day you have to do what you think is best for your kids. All right, another example, imagine that you are deciding whether to quit your job or not. Okay, you're deciding whether to stay at your company or to quit your job, and again we talk about it, we discuss it, and at the end of our conversation I say, you know, at the end of the day it's your decision. At the end of the day, you have to do what is best for you, okay, at the end of the day, all right? So again, at the end of the day just means ultimately. It's very nice to throw in near the end of your conversations to kind of sum up your main point or your most important point. So there you have 7 new idioms that you can use in your everyday conversations at work, with your friends, with your family, in literally any situation about any topic. So I've chosen these idioms because they are so versatile and they are very natural. I personally use them in my conversations all the time, all right? Now, I want to remind you with idioms that they do need to be used correctly. So accuracy is important when it comes to idioms. If you're not sure how to use them, it's best to look them up, look at some examples, and make sure that you are using them correctly in your conversations, all right? As well, remember that if you try to translate idioms, they most likely, most times, will not translate correctly. So idioms are expressions that do not have a literal translation. They mean something completely different than what they sound like, all right? So just keep that in mind as well. Don't forget to grab your free ebook, English Conversations Made Simple. And as always, thank you so much for watching and for learning with me. And I will see you very soon in the next lesson.